Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How are my recording levels?
Looks great. It's perfect, actually.
Oh, good. Hey, Toffee. And Toffee's our mascot for our recording. So, yeah. Anyway,
What are we doing today?
we are doing a clementine cake. But because it's hard to get clementines, I thought we'd just do it with oranges. And actually, to be honest, I've done this with oranges before and it works perfectly. So, thank you, Nigella. And we are going to be doing a series on Nigel's Joys for Nigella Lawson from her book, How to Eat. And where did I put that book? Give me a minute. I'll go and get it. Here we go. So rather than have Nigella's Bible next to me, because this is a Bible, all right, I printed out a recipe, and we're going to be making recipes from Nigella Lawson's How to Eat, a seminal cookbook written by Nigella way back when. Oh God, I can't even remember when now. Back in 1998. Thank you. So, this book really is a great book to have, and I thought we'd call this Nigella by Nigel-lah.
That's a good time. Yeah. We're definitely going to go with that.
How is everyone today? I've just had a week of having a cold, actually, but been trying to keep the spirits up and eventually put myself on some medication, which has helped tremendously. So as you can hear and see, I'm actually kind of like 95% back to my usual self. In any case, this week's time for joy, and it is joyous because Nigella, done by Nigel-lah. We're doing a clementine cake, and obviously clementines are not widely available in Malaysia, but I found that you can actually use oranges and it comes out just as deliciously. Is that a word? In any case, I'm not going to pretend that I can speak like Nigella with the huge plummy accent and all that. But having said that, she really is a personal hero of mine. She's come through a lot of trials and tribulations herself and kept her spirits up, obviously, and been able to do it in a way which is gracious and dignified. And that's something that I think we all can learn from. Persevering, but besides persevering, finding the beauty in everything we do. And I really think she does that so well. I mean, at least from the outside looking in, she's always looking for the beautiful in the food that she does and in the passion she has for it. So I think today's time for joy is really, really simple. It's really perseverance, but on top of that, that perseverance is fed by the fact that you look for the beauty in everyday things. And that's actually all part of gratitude as well, which harks back to another time for joy. Anyway, the whole point is, I think the time for joy today is look for the beauty in your everyday mundane life. Yes, look for the beauty in your everyday mundane life. And life doesn't have to be mundane when you do that. So, let's get on to Nigella's clementine cake. Nigella, done by Nigel-lah. Okay, so let's start. This is pretty much the easiest recipe for, well, you can call it an orange cake, a clementine cake. If you can get the small mandarins during Chinese New Year, this is a very, very good cake. Clementines are seasonal in the UK. Oranges are available in Malaysia all the year round, so we're doing oranges. This is about 1.5 times her recipe because I'm doing a 9-inch round tin. She does an 8-inch round. I didn't have an 8-inch round springform, so I'm doing a 9-inch. In it goes water. I'm going to get some water here and we're going to fill that. You know, it occurs to me it might be faster just to do that. I've found that you actually don't need to cover the oranges, but a little bit more water is good. There we go. And we switch it on. Oh, and shout out to Suzanne for getting me this. This is from New York.
That's so sweet.
Along with toffees, doggy toy for Pride Month. But the other thing is, a friend of mine actually wrote this on my social media and she said, well, isn't that a bone of contention? So here's to Toffee's bone of contention. Anyway, just keep this on for a couple of hours. It will soften out nicely. We're going to blend it. And then with this cake, everything just goes into the blender and chuck it in the oven and it's done. It's really that simple. It's simmering right now, so I'm going to turn the heat down and then just cover it and we'll leave it for 2 hours. So I'm going to show you how to line this tin. I'm going to do it quick and dirty, the best kind. Basically, what I wanted to do was do it Basque burnt cheesecake style. The battery died, so let's continue from here. So basically, just crumple up your parchment, non-stick parchment paper, baker's best friend, and stuff it in. We'll talk about cake goop another day, but basically that's another lifesaver. So don't worry if it's got a little bit of this. It's a rustic cake, so what we're going to do is pour the batter in. That's basically it. Our cake tin is lined. So just to cool it really quickly so you don't have to wait around until it really gets to a temperature that you can handle, I just put it into cool water like that. And then we leave it. And then eventually it will just cool down. I always bump it up a little bit so that when I open the oven, a little bit of the heat escapes and it comes down to the perfect temperature. Okay, so these oranges are still warm, but I'm going to take them out and do this anyway because by the time I cut it and remove the seeds, it will all have cooled down. So let's just check. Any more seeds? And if you notice, it's like almost like orange butter. It's like soft and juicy. Just gonna put it in here. I've already measured out these oranges. It's exactly the amount that is stated in the recipe. Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, that's great.
Look at that, look at the clarity of that sort of that gold translucence. So, Nigella, I hope you're enjoying this. And I hope I'm doing your cake justice. Please forgive me for not using clementines, but they're not always available in Malaysia. I honestly wish that all of you could smell this right now. It literally smells like a summer orchard in Spain. Not that I know what an orange summer orchard smells like in Spain. Yet. Now, I do this because sometimes, especially with this base, it's a bit bigger than this weighing scale. So, yeah, I do that to stabilize it. Now, you're supposed to use almond flour, which is actually skinned almond flour. This is not skinned, so you're probably going to get a little bit more texture out of it, but I'm fine with that. Sorry, Nigella. And not quite enough. So, what I'm going to do is add 50 grams of semolina. With apologies, but we'll find out how it turns out at the end. So I'm going to just blend the oranges and the ground almonds first because my food processor jar isn't that large and I hope it works. Okay. Now we'll add in the eggs. Even though it's not chopped up properly, the eggs will dilute it a bit and make it a little looser to make it easier. Okay, so we need 9 eggs. 6 eggs, sorry. Let's do this. Approximately 210 grams, 220 grams of sugar. If you hear that yipping, that's toffee dreaming. Now, here's another little tip. Sugar's always treated as a liquid. So when you put it in, it dissolves and therefore it becomes a liquid. One teaspoon of baking powder. And another little addition. I always like a little bit of salt in my desserts. So again, apologies, Nigella. I'm putting in a little bit of salt. Approximately a half teaspoon. And we're ready to go. Barely enough. Oh my God, I'm so glad this food processor is here, but it's barely enough. Give it a good tap so that it settles nicely. And don't worry if you haven't greased your tin either with the parchment in, because what happens is afterwards you can just cut it off the tin. And don't forget to turn the oven back down to 170 after you set it up just now, because, yeah, you get it. And it's ready. You want it a little bit moist like this. So, okay, off you go. Oven mitt. Toff toff. We're going to baste it a little bit with golden syrup. Again, apologies Nigella, but I thought this would be really pretty. There we go, just a bit of golden syrup. I'm sure you could also do an orange glaze. I think in one of her recipes she does an orange glaze, but golden syrup is sometimes also called light treacle. And because there's a little bit of a crack, I need to put this on. This is homemade golden syrup, a recipe I will share at some point. Just so that every nook and cranny is covered with this golden delicious stuff. Okay, we're going to open the tin, pop it, and there we go. We'll wait for it to cool a little bit and firm up before I do this in case it tears the corners. Well, not the corners, but the sides. And voila. Oh. It feels so good. One. Tangy creme fraiche, light, almost puddingy cake, but light, and citrusy and textures, a little bit of crunch because we ground the almonds a little coarser. Yums. So thanks for watching this video too, and please like and subscribe.